Hello guys, my name is Nora and welcome to my new cooking show called Back at Home, where I try to make foods that will definitely make you feel like you're back at home. For today's dish, I will be making a pasta bolognese, which is from Italy, and I will show you step by step on how to make it. For the ingredients on how to make this pasta bolognese, we are going to need some tomatoes, olive oil, some pasta, carrots, onions, garlic, minced meat, some Italian seasoning, salt, pepper, cheese, butter, a little more cheese, and also pots and pans. So let's start with the pasta. For the pasta, I will be using spaghetti. You can use fettuccine or even penne. Both are really great choices, but for today, I will choose spaghetti. Let's start by filling this pot with some water. We can also add some salt to season the pasta so it really adds more flavor into it. Now that we have our pot filled with water, we can put this on the stove and we can let it boil. We can also put some salt in there and then the spaghetti, and until it becomes soft, we can take it right out. We can strain it right away. Now, while the pasta is cooking, we can start with the sauce. So over here we have ripe tomatoes, and what we're going to do with this is just peel it, just like this. Well, not really peel, we're just going to cut through the tomato. And after we cut through the tomato, just a tiny bit, and then we can put all of these into a single pot like that and really boil. This will make the skin peel, and then we can really mash the potatoes, not like mashed potatoes, but so it'll be crushed and it'll make a really great sauce for the bolognese. As we wait for the tomatoes to let the skin peel, we can start by doing some other stuff for the sauce. For example, we can start by cutting this carrot. We want to chop this carrot into small tiny cubes, therefore it's easier for us to eat it. We can also start by cutting the onions, which we will chop finely so it's really better for the pasta sauce. And also we have garlic, which will really up the flavor of the pasta. Right, so let's cut. After we've chopped the onions, we can straight away go onto the garlic. You don't have to really cut the garlic because it will still have that really garlicky flavor, but we can just put the back of the knife and just push. I already did that because of the cuts. And we can straight away just chop it. We've got the garlics done, we've got the onions, and now we can straight away go onto the carrot. This is really uneven. Now that we've finished cutting the onions, the garlic, and of course the carrots, we can start crushing the tomatoes. As you can see, the tomato skins have really started to really peel. And it's really great because we can start crushing the tomatoes right away. As I was peeling the tomato, I noticed that the pasta was already boiling, and it's actually exactly where I wanted it to be. As you can see, the pasta is already really very jiggly around, but I cooked it 3/4 because I don't really want to finish the pasta straight away because I want to finish it in the sauce. So the pasta really incorporates the sauce and it will have a really great pasta sauce-ish. Apa ya? Yeah. Now that we've peeled the tomatoes, we can usually crush it by hand or by whatever you have at home. But I choose to use a blender because it basically gives an even distribution. Because if you use hands, some parts will be too chunky and a little too saucy. So by using this blender, it'll help the process by a lot. So you can straight away just put the tomatoes in the blender. That way, slowly but steady, it'll really make the sauce. And we don't want this to be a really just like a juice straight away. We want it to be a little more clunky basically. So we have that rich parts when we eat the bolognese. Now that we have everything prepped, we can start making the Bolognese pasta. Let's start by heating this pan. So what we're going to do is add a little bit of butter and a little bit of olive oil. So the butter just melts. I don't want it to be brown. Now as this starts to melt, we can put the garlic and the onions straight in. So we want the onion to just make it a little bit brown, but not too much. So we just want to really baste it. Now as you smell the aromas and everything, we can straight away put in the meat. So I messed up. So as you would a normal bolognese, you would put the carrots and celery first, but I forgot about that and accidentally put the meat in. So we're just going to straight away put in the carrots with the with the meat, so it combines basically, and so the carrots will be a little soft. Alright, so as the mess up which I've already made, well, you can see that the meat is already browning, which is very good, and we can start to put in the seasoning. We'll just add some salt, a little bit of pepper, and some Italian seasoning. Italian seasoning is just oregano, thyme, some basil, some dried basil, and some other stuff. I'll write them all down here. So as you can see, we've got the meat into a really good, well, station basically. So we can straight away put in the tomato sauce. Okay, that's heavy. Slowly say. So we just want the sauce to just slowly cook, and so the meat really incorporates the tomatoes and it'll make a really good pasta sauce. And as we wait, we can just clean this up a little. As we let this simmer, we can also add a little bit of cheese into it. We have, or the cheese that I've prepared is some cheddar, some mozzarella, and also, yeah, I think it's just those two. So we can just add it right in. It'll help the sauce to be a little thicker. Now that the pasta has simmered for quite a long amount of time, let's check it. Now as you can see, the pasta sauce has really, the color has really changed. So it's a good sign, and also it's a little more, it's a little thicker. Now we don't want this to, again, cook all the way, because, well, actually we do want it to cook all the way, but we also want the pasta to finish cooking in it. So let's just add the pasta. Right, so let's add it in. After cooking and of course plating, I think it's finally time we have a taste test. Take a big swirl. The pasta is just excellent. From the sauce to the pasta really incorporates it. It's just so good. Alright guys, I think that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and leave a like. And we'll see you on the next video. Wait, jangan matiin. Ini aku tinggalin berapa lama? Stop!